Have you ever wondered where all the magic in our world comes from? That inexplicable feeling when something extraordinary happens, that shiver down your spine when the impossible becomes reality before our eyes. What if I told you there exists a magic so powerful, so ancient, that its mere existence defies everything we know about the laws of reality? Welcome, dear viewers, to a fascinating journey through the mysteries of the first magic, a closely guarded secret that today we will unravel together. Before we dive into this ocean of enigmas, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a world where the line between the possible and the impossible is as thin as a silk thread. A world where nothingness can become everything, and the void can give rise to creation. This is the domain of the first magic, a realm of paradoxes and wonders that defies human comprehension. But what exactly is the first magic? Why does it carry this imposing title? And who was the mysterious figure who mastered its secrets? These are the questions we'll explore today, in a narrative that promises to shake the foundations of your understanding of magic. The story begins in an age lost in the mists of time, on a night that preceded the advent of a new era. It was on this night, laden with omens and auguries, that a child destined to change the course of magical history was born. Yamaina, the future magician of the first magic. Yamaina came into the world on the eve of the birth of the ADWP calendar, a system of counting time whose origins are lost in the darkness of centuries. But what makes Yamina's birth so special? Why is this temporal coincidence more than mere happenstance? To understand this, we need to go back even further in time to the Age of Gods, when the third magic already existed. Yes, you heard that right. The third magic preceded the first. Intriguing, isn't it? The nomenclature of these magics doesn't follow a chronological order, but rather a hierarchy based on special characteristics that each one possesses. And here, my friends, is where the plot thickens. The witches, those figures shrouded in mystery and fear, played a crucial role in the establishment of the first magic. But what role was that? What ancestral secrets did they guard that allowed the emergence of such an immense power? They say the first magic was achieved as a result of reaching the root, the core of all existence, the point of origin of all reality. A feat so extraordinary that only one other magic, the fifth, shares this distinction. But what does it mean to reach the root? What kind of transformation occurs in a human being when they touch the untouchable, when they glimpse what should not be seen? The answer to these questions is intrinsically linked to the domain of the first magic, a concept so abstract that it defies language itself. When we try to represent it visually, what do we see? A colossal explosion of matter, as if the very fabric of reality were being torn and recreated before our astonished eyes. But don't be fooled by the apparent simplicity of this image. What's at stake here is something much deeper, something that scholars call the denial of nothingness, a vertiginous concept that suggests the ability to generate something from absolute vacuum, to give substance to what does not exist. And it is at this point, dear listeners, that we approach the beating heart of the mystery. The first magic is intimately related to the generation of ether clumps. But what are these clumps? Imagine them as the quintessence of creation, the raw material of the universe in its purest and most potent state. To illustrate this abstract concept, allow me to introduce the fascinating magecraft system known as Ploy Kiksha, developed by Yamaina herself. It is a direct application of the first magic, a practical demonstration of its immeasurable power. But how does it work? What makes it so special? Think of it as a magical tapestry, where the threads are ideas, and the loom is the magus's own will. In Ploy Kiksha, the practitioner weaves spells by condensing and summarizing the ideas and contents of books and tales. But this isn't just a superficial reading. It's a deep absorption, a distillation of the essence of these stories. And then, in an act bordering on the divine, these distilled ideas are reproduced as real phenomena. Stories come to life, metaphors materialize, and the imaginary becomes tangible. It's as if the magus could snatch concepts from the abstract realm and give them form and substance in the physical world. But the complexity of the first magic doesn't stop there. There are accounts of another practitioner, an enigmatic individual named Esk, whose magic strangely resembles Yamina's ploys. Esk also weaves spells from books and tales, but with a unique touch that suggests an even deeper understanding of the first. What does this tell us about the nature of the first magic? That it transcends mere manipulation of matter, reaching into the very realm of ideas. That its domain extends not only over what is, but also over what could be. And here, my friends, we come to one of the most intriguing and melancholic aspects of our story. In modern days, Yamaina is recognized as having long since departed this world. Among the 5 great magicians, she is the only one considered completely deceased. An inestimable loss for magical knowledge, isn't it? But the story doesn't end with her death. No, not at all. For those who have attained the status of cause magicians at the prestigious clock tower, a secret is revealed. The true nature of the first magic and the identity of its bearer, Yamaina. It's as if, even after her passing, she continued to cast a long shadow over the world of magic. And there's more. It is whispered in the corridors of power that, although the original bearer of the first magic has left this plane of existence, a character of her direct descent survives. Survives by a hair, the legends say, as if constantly on the brink of a precipice. Who is this descendant? What burden do they carry? And why is their existence so precarious? These questions lead us to reflect on the legacy of the first magic. Is this immense power a blessing or a curse for those who bear it? What does it mean to live with the ability to deny nothingness, to give life to what does not exist? And what is the price to pay for touching the root, for glimpsing the unfathomable? As we approach the end of this journey, more questions arise than answers. The first magic, in its grandeur, seems to mock our attempts to fully comprehend it. It is like a horizon that recedes as we approach, always beyond our reach, always challenging our preconceived notions. But perhaps that is exactly the point. Perhaps the true essence of the first magic resides not in its total comprehension, but in the ceaseless pursuit of that comprehension. Just as Yamaina reached the root, each of us is invited to embark on our own journey towards the unknown, to question the limits of the possible, to dream of what lies beyond the horizon. And so, we come to the end of our exploration, but not to the end of the mystery. The first magic continues to hover over us, a constant reminder that there is more to reality than our eyes can see or our minds can conceive. It challenges us to look beyond the veil of the everyday, to seek the extraordinary in the ordinary. Before we part ways, I leave you with a question, an enigma to ponder on your sleepless nights. If the first magic is capable of denying nothingness, of generating something from absolute void, what does that say about the nature of existence itself? Are we all, in the end, manifestations of this primordial magic, ex nihilo creations of a cosmic will that we have barely begun to understand? The answer, my dears, may be closer than we imagine. Perhaps it lies within each of us, waiting to be discovered, just as the seed of the first magic waited, since the beginning of time, for the birth of Yamaina. And with that, I conclude this video, hoping that these words have ignited in you the same flame of curiosity and wonderment that burns in me. May the pursuit of truth guide you, and may magic, in all its forms, illuminate your paths. Until next time, and remember, in the realm of the first magic, the impossible is just the beginning.